important what you're doing, and that is identifying a problem, proposing some solutions, and wanting to work with your elected officials on making the community, making the situation better. This is an intersection that I personally am very, very familiar with. And it is an intersection that I too avoid. And a lot of it is for those same reasons that you mentioned, is that, you know, at this particular intersection you have vehicles exiting on the 5 freeway southbound at the Main Street exit, and you have people that are traveling on Main Street that are really just interested in where they're going and only about themselves. And I'm sure there's a lot of examples of kind of that selfishness in society where people are really thinking about just themselves and not thinking about anyone else, and really having no personal responsibility over what they do in this world. The approach to this particular issue is a couple of steps. And just like you research this particular issue, there are departments in the city and in all levels of government that are responsible for a particular function, and transportation in the city of Los Angeles is under which department? Can anybody say? I can't hear you. I see lips moving, but I can't hear you. Right, Department of Transportation. That was simple, right? Come on, that was an easy one. Right, Department of Transportation. So one of the things that needs to first be done, I'm going to give this to everybody because this is not only this is not only for this project. Can I have your home and pass it? I don't think I brought enough. Is the departments need to do a study, right? Because, you know, I recognize it's a problem. You recognize it's a problem. There's probably several other people that recognize a problem, but can we prove that it's a problem, right? Nobody's saying that you're not saying the truth. Nobody's not saying that Jose is not telling the truth. We have to deal with what the facts are, right? And the facts are what will be determined by this study. And what the study will do is they're going to look at how many vehicles are traveling up and down on Main Street. How many vehicles are coming down that 5 freeway southbound exit. Based on the flow of traffic in all those directions, they will say, engineering will say, you know what? Their suggestion of putting a keep clear signage on the ground, I think that will be the solution. Whoa, wait a minute. There's way too many cars here. I can't believe we haven't put a directional signal in yet. The study will determine what really is the magnitude of the problem and really the appropriate solution that should be put into place. So the first step is, yes, you bringing it to my attention, but I want to work with you, right? Because Jose is not going to always be around, right? And it's going to be important that not only this time, but in the future, you learn how to have that personal responsibility to say, I'm going to initiate this change. Jose told me this is the way to do it. And he told me along the way, if there's problems, he's there with me. He's going to help out where we get stuck. So the first step is going to the Department of Transportation website. Can I borrow that? And I'm doing this with you, but I really want to empower this group to take this first step. And that is, you report it online. Okay? You You report it online at that website. And can anybody just guess as to why it needs to be reported online?
I think they may have done it.
You really?
Yes. But they did not receive a response.
Oh,
You should have gotten a ticket number.
oh yeah, I sent an email, but they haven't responded.
Okay,
back.
so going online and filling out an actual problem ticket is the first step. The email, and I'm sorry that you didn't get a response back, right? Because you should have gotten a response back at least saying, thank you, this is what we're gonna do, or redirecting you back to this website, right? So the website is the first place to start at and reporting it. And you're gonna see a lot of different tabs. Yeah,
So if you do not get a response, what would be your suggestion?
let me know. So by you letting me know, right, I can check in with the department, right? And there's been a lot of changes in the Department of Transportation. We have a new interim general manager. The former general manager left. I want to say maybe about a month ago is when we went to this online reporting system. So if your email went in during that kind of transition period, you know, it could be that, you know, they're, you know, moving everybody onto the system of reporting it online. So reporting it online, so can anybody tell me why it's important to report something online in a data system?
Like it's in writing, texting.
You have it in record, and also every department during our budgeting discussions has to justify how much money they should be getting based on how many problems that they're actually working on. So if a department is managing their resources by, you know, paper, by phone calls, by emails, and it's not really captured in a data system, it's very hard for them to give an accounting of what it is that is an open case, pending cases, and cases actually that they've closed because the problem has been resolved. So that's the first step, going onto that website. So the next step is saying to me, Jose, we did what we did, we submitted it, because I've already alerted the Department of Transportation that I was coming to this class today, right? So they are on standby, the engineers are on standby, that once that ticket gets put in, you get that number. I'm gonna say, I was at Sacred Heart High School on Friday, they submitted it, this is what the ticket number is. And they're gonna say, okay, thank you, Jose, for doing that, because that's what we've asked everybody to do. And we're gonna start studying that. We're gonna start looking into resolving that particular problem. So who's the project manager? Who's the project lead? Nobody wants to, come on, somebody, I mean, somebody, I know somebody is. No?
Crystal.
All right, because I've been getting emails from Valeria, right? So, I'm going to give you my card, and, right? So, the first step is amongst yourselves, you know, as you do with any project, right, as a team, who's going to do what, right? So once you determine who's going to go online, right? Who's going to go online? Who's going to submit the problem, right? And then you're going to let me know we submitted it. This is the number, Jose. And we're going to work together on this particular problem. Okay? Now, that's probably, I would imagine, as somebody who has had my share of problems that I presented to people. It's not probably what you were thinking was gonna happen today, maybe, right? Maybe you were hoping that I would be able to say, yes, we're gonna put a signal, yes, we're gonna put in the keep clear signage on the street. I wish it was that easy, because that would make my job a lot simpler. But I probably wouldn't do as good of a job as the people who have gone on to get educated in engineering, to make sure that we do have safe streets, because I'm not an engineer, right? But I am somebody who shares that this is a problem, and I agree that it is something that should be solved. So I think together we'll be able to do that. Any questions? Yes.
Since we submitted the report, do we do it again?
When you say report, can you forward me whatever it is you emailed? Because if it was an email, that's different than going to the, I wish, I'm looking for a computer or laptop.
There's a laptop, but then we can use it.
Okay,